Hey there, everybody. How's it going? I got denied from Canada. Yep, you heard that correctly. So, what happened? So, Canada has a very interesting and very cool immigration process, and they have this particular program called the Express Entry, where you put in all your information, right? Your age, your background, your work history, whole toboggle, whole nine yards. And you get a certain number of points. And obviously, the more points that you get, the better, the higher your chances are that you get selected. Well, I put in all my points, all my job history, all my stuff, and I got like a pretty high number of points. I think it was around like 475, something like that, or 48. I don't remember the exact number. I'll put it up on the screen. But anyways, I ended up actually getting selected for the education drawing. So what happens is that Canada, they will draw for certain professions, right? Healthcare, IT, education, general drawing, whatever. And I got selected for it, which is great because of my background as an English teacher in Korea. And so I'm like, cool, I'm going to Canada, but you got to get all this paperwork together, right? They got to verify it first. They got to get your background checks, your security checks. They got to get your, health check to make sure that you're healthy and you're not lying about things. And I go through this whole toboggle, right? I got to go, because at the time I'm living in Korea, I go from Daegu up to Seoul to get these health checks. I go to the police stations. I go through the FBI. I'm reaching out to all my old employers to get these reference letters. And eventually I send in my packet and I wait a few months, and then part of it gets approved, right? The health stuff gets approved. The I believe it was the security, one other part of my application got approved, and I'm like, yeah, looks like I'm going to Canada after Korea. And then one day I received actually an email from the IRCC, which is the Immigration, Refugee, Customs, or whatever it is, Canada. It's their immigration service. And it's telling me that I got rejected. And I'm like, what? And here's what had happened. Here's why I got rejected. So on the website, it asks you for your time that you worked at the place, right? So it wants to basically know, if I worked somewhere from March of 2024 to February 2025, give us that, but don't tell us the exact date, because they don't need the exact date on the website. They just need the month and the year, which is fine because dates get really technical. So for some of the jobs that you get points for, right, which are your main ones, you need reference letters from them. And in those reference letters, they have criteria that you need to, say certain things like your name, how long you work there, your pay, how many hours per week, blah, 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 blah. Well, it asks for the dates that you worked at those jobs, right, from March to February, whenever, right? But it does say the date. And so what I did was I had on my reference letters, people just wrote for me the month and the year, just like it was on the website. Well, that's not what they needed. So they ended up denying me the entire application and told me that I cannot apply for an appealment, right? Because it was technically on me. I did something wrong. This pissed me off beyond belief. And yeah, that's basically it. That was it. That was the only issue wrong with my entire application, was just that one little detail, and there's no way to appeal it. There's no way that I can try and get it redone. So if you're looking at going to Canada and you're in this sort of, express entry thing or whatever, be really specific with your dates, and be sure to reach out to the IRCC about this kind of stuff if you have any questions, because they denied me. Luckily, I can reapply, which I did. But yeah, I'm still waiting to get reselected again, and that's why I am not in Canada right now. So just a word of warning. But thanks for watching this video. Be careful, and yeah, screw you, Canada. I hope you get more tariffs.